guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing this Deadpool transformation for you. So first of all, I'm going to be taking a bald cap and I'm just going to be applying that to the head. So I just made sure my hair was nice and gelled back, so we've got a really nice smooth canvas underneath. And then taking some spirit gum, I'm just going to be tacking down the edges just to make sure we've got a really nice smooth appearance between the bald cap and the skin. So now taking my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the colour Milk, I'm just going to be mapping out the big eyes onto my face, just so we can keep that area nice and clear for later on. So you don't need to be too precise with this at the moment because we will go in later on and perfect it all. So then after that I'm going to be taking a red face paint and I'm just going to be filling in the other areas. So you don't need to be too precise with this again, just because we are going to be going in and applying a few layers because I really wanted this to be nice and opaque. And if you can't reach the back of your head, I suggest probably getting someone else to do that for you, because I did have some difficulty doing it myself. And looking back on it, this face paint was an absolute nightmare to work with. I wouldn't suggest using a crap face paint basically. This is just the one that I found at a fancy dress shop. I would go in and use a really good one, so like a Snazzaroo. They're a really good brand of face paints. So then after that I'm going to be taking a black face paint and I'm just going to be filling in the eyes. And again, don't worry if you mess up the lines slightly, because we are going to be going in and sorting it out afterwards. So also you want to keep the sockets of the eye nice and clear because we are going to be painting them white later on. So now taking a smaller, more detailed brush, I'm just going to be going around the eyes and perfecting the shape. So it did take me a little bit of time just to get the shape that I wanted, but keep a really steady hand when you're doing this. And then I'm going to be going in with a little bit of white face paint and I'm going to be creating highlighted effects to the eyes, kind of similar to a mask effect, because obviously Deadpool wears a mask. And I referenced a picture online. I'll leave the picture right here on the screen so you can check it out. But as you can see, the light's shining on one side of his face, so the other side of his face is really dark. So as we go through this tutorial, I'll show you how I highlighted and shaded the whole of the face to make it look like a leather mask effect. So now to create the illusion that the eyes are lifted off the face, I'm just going to be going down at the centre of the eye with the white face paint again, and I'm just going to be shading that in. So you kind of want to reference the picture again and make sure you put the light where it's supposed to be and obviously the dark where it's supposed to be as well. So that's really going to give the illusion that the eyes are lifted off the face and therefore look like a mask. So now I'm just going to be going in and perfecting the whole thing. So this does take me a little bit of time, so just bear with it and have some patience. But I did keep on referencing the picture. If you do get stuck, just make sure you have that picture to hand so you can really see where you're supposed to be shading and highlighting. So now once the eye's done, I'm then going to move on to shading the face. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of black eyeshadow and I'm just going to be buffing that into the areas where I wanted the shading and definition to be. So again, if you look at that picture, you can see the light is shining on one side of his face and therefore casting a shadow on the other side. So you just want to mimic that with a black eyeshadow. So again, just kind of like reference the picture and just copy basically what is on there. So as you can see here, the face paint did start flaking off, which is really annoying, and as I said before, I did have massive problems with this face paint and I probably would never use it again. So it probably took me double the amount of time that it should have taken me, but yeah, I won't be using that one again. I'll just be using the decent one. So I'm just going to be sort of really building that colour up because I obviously wanted it to be quite dark and intense. So now taking the black eyeshadow again, and this time the flat to finer brush, I'm just going to start tracing out the line from the top of the eye all the way towards the back of the head, and that is just going to act like kind of like the stitching for the mask. So after that you want to go in with a white face paint as well and just add a little bit of highlight just to make it more realistic. So now taking the white face paint again, I'm then going to be putting that onto the eyelids and then setting it with some white eyeshadow. And that's just going to create the illusion that obviously he's got like white eyes, which he does in that picture. If you guys wanted to wear white contacts, that would also work and it would be really, really good. But obviously for this look, I didn't have any contact lenses and I wasn't actually going outside the door because I think I would probably scare quite a few people considering it's not Halloween. So now once the white eyeshadow is set into place, I'm going to be taking a blending brush with a little bit of the black shadow and I'm just going to be putting that on the outer corners of the eye, and that's just going to create the effect that the eyes are more sunken back into the skull than what they are. And then again, I'm just going to be going over to the other side of the face and doing exactly the same process of what I've done on the other side. So this time you just want to keep it nice and light and don't sort of create too much shading. You just want to really, again, reference that picture and just copy that. So as you can see there, I'm just adding some white face paint on the areas that I wanted to highlight and then just blending it in with my finger. So now I'm just going to be drawing a line down the centre of the eye and again just kind of like making it look like the mask is lifted off of his face. So at this point it was just a case of just going in and highlighting different areas and shading different areas, and it's probably the most time consuming part, but again, don't get frustrated with it, just take your time and be patient and I promise you it will pay off. There were so many times throughout this tutorial I was looking at it and I was thinking, oh, it's not working, but I think if you just persevere with it and stick with it, it will all come together at the end. So now taking some white eyeshadow, I'm just going to be blending that over the areas that I put the white face paint, and it's just going to make everything blend more seamlessly together and also erase any harsh lines from the face paint. So now going back in with a flat definer brush and a little bit of black eyeshadow, I'm just going to be drawing a line from the bottom of the eye down to the jawline, so it's going to act like the stitching of the mask. So after that I'm going to be going in with a little bit of white face paint and obviously the white eyeshadow and just making sure we've highlighted that area as well. And as you can see here, I'm trying to blend onto that bald cap, but the face paint was just flaking off everywhere and it was just driving me absolutely insane. So I was getting really frustrated with it. I just really didn't like the way it looked on the bald cap, so yeah, I apologise for that guys. Next time I will actually use a decent face paint. So now going back in with the white eyeliner, I'm just going to be mapping out the areas on the body where I wanted kind of like his armour to be. So it's kind of like got like a strap that comes over one side of his shoulder, and I suppose that's where he holds his knives, I'm not actually too sure. So I'm just going to be mapping out those areas onto the body before we go in with face paint. So after that I'm going to be taking the red face paint and I'm just going to be filling in the front part of his body and then taking the black face paint and filling in the rest. So now I'm just going to be blending a little bit of black eyeshadow into the red face paint because I kind of wanted to set it into place and also just sort of rough it up a little bit so it's not one flat colour, and that way it just adds a little bit more dimension to the whole look. And then I'm going to be going in with a little tiny eyeliner brush and with the black face paint again, I'm just going to be drawing the lines on the body where the stitching needs to be. To add the finishing touches, I'm going to be taking that white face paint again and I'm just going to be blending that in on the areas where the highlights need to be on the body. So again, just reference that picture just to make sure you're getting it in the right place, and then I'm just going to be setting it all with a white eyeshadow and just really blending it in so there's no harsh edges. Guys, it's the end of the tutorial. I really hope that you enjoyed this. If you're not already, please don't forget to click the subscribe button right here and it will notify you of all of my upcoming videos. I post every Thursdays and Sundays. So again, I really hope that you enjoyed this and I'll see you all in my next video on Sunday. Bye!